Hey, what's up, guys? My name's David, and I'm going to be showing you how to automate a nested folder structure in Google Drive. You can use this with any CRM. I'm going to be using it with Airtable. And if you're like me, I run a content agency, you might be handling a lot of files on a day-to-day or weekly basis. And you can imagine at scale, having to restructure the templates every time you get a new client or you have to work on a new project can take up a lot of time. So today I'm going to show you how to automate that. It's going to keep your files organized as well. And in a part two, I'll also be showing you how to have the automation organize your files for you. So that'll be interesting. But we're going to go ahead and get started. You could probably see my screen here. I'm going to go back to the shared drive. And this is just going to be a to the point video. I'm not going to skip over anything. I'm going to show you step by step, and I'm going to build the automation with you. So I'll reply to any comments if you have any questions. And yeah, definitely hit subscribe, follow me on TikTok, follow me on YouTube, and I'll be dropping more information. So let's get into it. So as you can see here, we have our shared drives. This is my Cloudbeam, aka my content agency. And the way that we've organized our folders I'd like to think they're pretty organized. So I'm going to go to clients over here. And let me just give you an idea of how our nested folders work. So we have our clients. Every time we get a new client, what we would have to do is I'd have to download this template and then open it back up and rename the new client with that folder. So let me show you how this works. So if I click on a client, we have outdoor creations here. So that folder would have their assets, their notes, and the shoots. And this is what we'd be updating constantly. So inside the shoots, every time we get a new project or a new address, I would have to do the same thing. I'd have to download the folder, and then I'd have to open the zip file and then put the folder back into Google Drive, renaming the folder with the proper address. Well, this way I don't have to do any of that anymore. And the reason why we have the folder organized with the address first is because sometimes we'll revisit that address. So in order to keep everything structured, we would, for example, go back to this address, and I have two different dates here. So that's why it's like that. But let's just click on one of these. And then you can see inside that folder, we have the footage, we have pending approval. In this case, we have needs revision, approved, and deliverables. And then even inside the footage folder, we have even more folders. It's the before, progress, after. So just so you can get an idea, this is how we structure our folders. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you exactly how we fix this. So this is our automation, and it starts with an Airtable. And I'm going to build it from scratch for you, but this is what it looks like. And yours might look a little bit different because I want you guys to tweak this to fit your needs, right? But just to give you an idea, it all starts with an Airtable trigger, and then the shoot location gets updated here. And then we have the date folder. And in this case, I have some variables set because we're going to grab onto those later. And then after that, we have the footage folder that's created, followed by the dump folder. And then the dump URL gets recorded back into the Airtable. And yeah, that's the most important part right here, because that way we don't have to go back into Google Drive at all. We can just dump our files directly from the dump link that's in the Airtable. And then everything else is made after that. So the way we structured our folder is going to be a little bit different than what I just showed you. It's going to be iPhone, A7R3, that's one of our cameras, drone, and then interview branding. And then instead of all those extra folders that I had showed you previously, we figured it was best to just have a pending approval folder and deliverables for our clients. But this is the overview of the automation. Let's just go right ahead and build it. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start with an Airtable watch records module. And the reason why I chose watch records is because this automation can run on intervals. You can choose anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour to maybe every 30 minutes. But it's going to only trigger based off a date created or a date modified column in your Airtable table. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to choose core, because that's our client. And then the trigger field is going to be my created column. So if I go over to Cloudbeam in my Airtable, you can see that this is our base. And then we have core table. And then here we have our column. So I have a description of the kind of shoot that we're doing. These are all test runs, by the way. And then I have the latest shoot location and the latest shoot date. All right, we have the dump URL, the dump folder ID. This is relevant when we organize files. I'll show you guys how to do that. And then these statuses are important because that's what's going to let the automation know when to run or when it's not necessary. So we have the dump complete, sorting in process, and then sorting complete. So this created column right here, this is what's going to trigger your automation every time it runs on that interval. It's going to check if there's a new row created in this case. So let's just go back to our make scenario. So we're going to do created, and the label field that we're looking for is going to be the latest shoot location, and the limit's going to be 1. And then grid view, press OK. So choose where to start. We're going to choose manually. No, we're going to go from now on. Okay. So we just want to make sure this works. So I'm going to run this module. And it works. The reason why I know it works is because it didn't give me an output. Why didn't it give me an output? Well, because there hasn't been a new row created. So there's no new date created value here. So going back, now I'm going to add the next module. It's going to be a Google Drive create a folder module. So go ahead and connect your Google Drive here. So I'm going to click, actually I have to click shared drive. Then I'm going to click Cloudbeam, and then the folder location is going to be under clients, then core. So you're gonna have to, the beauty of automating in Make is once you have a solid template, you can just repeat that over and over. And personally, I think that it's better this way because you know exactly wherein lies an issue if you ever have a problem with any of your automations later down the line. So I'm going to repeat this for all my clients, and I just organize my scenarios in folders in Make, and that way if I need to tweak any sort of automation because it's not working or anything of that case, then I know where to go. It's not necessarily one automation that's handling all the clients. It's each automation or each scenario is in charge of that particular client. So I find that a lot easier to troubleshoot should there ever be an issue. So I go to core, and then yeah, that's it. And the new folder name is actually going to be the latest shoot location, right? And then we press OK. Perfect. Now the next one after that is going to be, and then we're just going to name this real quick. Rename. So let's rename it to shoot location. Perfect. And then the next one is going to be create a folder. And then we're going to do the shoot date. Excuse me. Actually, we're going to map this. And then because the shared date, or excuse me, because the shoot date is inside the location folder, you can just map the value here. You don't have to choose one. So I would go down here, and it's going to be the folder ID, and the date is going to be from here, the latest shoot date. Bam. Right. And we can test these in a second. Why don't I just test it right now? So let's go back to our Airtable. And let's create a new shoot. So this time we're going to call it YouTube. And the shoot location is my house. And then the shoot date is going to be today. All right. So what would happen is this would be running on an interval of maybe every 30 minutes, every hour, whatever you choose. Maybe only during the week or whatever works for you. But I'm just going to run it once for the sake of testing. Okay. So let's take a look. It looks like it worked. And we have the proper output here. So a quicker way to actually check this out is I'm going to go to Shoots, Clients, Core, and it should be in this folder here. And it's not. So got to figure out why that is. Okay, so actually it is here. It turns out it's in my clients folder rather than core itself. Or excuse me, it's in core rather than shoot. So I need to fix that. So I'm just going to delete this real quick. We're going to fix that. And one thing I love about Make is if something's wrong, it's like always your fault, right? I don't have to deal with integrations or third-party apps that I can't really see the back end of. With Make, you can see everything that's going on right there. And so if there's a problem, there's usually something wrong with what you did. And even though it might be pretty tedious to look through a bunch of outputs or bundles or whatever it is you have to look through, at the end of the day, it feels good knowing that, it can be troubleshooted. It can usually work. So going back into, that's going to be here, create a folder. So it's going to be core, and then I actually have to put it in shoots. There we go. Awesome. So now we know that it works. Everything's going well. I deleted the folder, but if you had opened it, it would have shown the date in that case. And then let me just go back here. I'm going to delete this record because we'll test it out again, and let's build the rest of the Make automation. So after that, we're going to do a router. And first we're going to create a new folder. And it's pretty much going to be the same thing. It's pretty repetitive. Share drive, new folder location. And we're just going to map these because this is how it's going to work. So the name is the date, and then it's going to be inside this one. So we're going to have footage. And then the new folder name is going to be footage. And I'm going to handle what's inside this folder before I go through the rest of it. So inside the footage folder, it's going to be the dump. So we're going to, actually, I'm going to just paste this. Yeah, that's better. And the reason why I have a dump folder now, because I didn't have one previously, is because after our shoots, I'm just going to dump all the media that we have. So everything from the iPhone, from the A7R3, from the drone, I'm just going to dump it in this folder, and I'm going to run an automation that scans whatever gets dropped in this folder and then organizes it in its proper place. That's going to be in a separate video, so stay tuned if you want to watch that. But anyway, going back to this is going to be the dump folder. And the folder ID is going to come from the new number 5 of the Google Drive. Perfect. And then we're just going to copy this one and make a couple more. So after the iPhone, we use this is the equipment that we use. We use an iPhone. We use an A7R3, and we use a drone. Usually I would name the drone DJI, because that's what we had, a DJI Mini 3, but it broke, so I'm not sure what drone we're going to get next. but we're gonna have to use something pretty soon. Let's see, A7R3, and then let's rename these. Make sure I did this right. Dump. So let's just do that for now. Just leave it like that. And then I like to auto align. Perfect. And then let's rename this to footage. And then this is going to be the shoot date. Perfect. And then here we have the we're just going to fix this here. This is going to be the pending approval folder. And then this is going to be the deliverables folder. And so if you're handling multiple clients, this is just a good way to stay organized. You're going to know everything, you're going to know exactly where everything is. And this is also going to save you a bunch of time. And I would highly recommend writing an SOP on this. That way you can just have someone else manage the automations in case you're busy getting more clients, as you should be. So this one's going to be the deliverables. Perfect. And then we'll delete that. And I gotta change the name, so pending approval. And then 3 deliverables. This is a pretty easy automation as well. If you guys want, comment blueprint and I'll send you it. I don't know if I can DM you on YouTube, but if you let me know on my TikTok, I'll for sure send you it. So let me just go through this, make sure everything is looking good. Yes. Perfect. No, so this has to be drone. Perfect. Okay. And yeah, that's about it. No filters, no nothing. I think, we have to update the Airtable record. So then what I did after that was I had it search for a record. The reason why you can't just update a record directly is because Airtable needs to know what record you want to update. So I'm going to go to here, search record. I'm connected to my table, my base. And then I'm going to click, let's see, it's core. And then I'm going to click sort, and then I'm going to have it update, excuse me, I'm going to have it update with the dump URL, and then it's going to go in ascending order. And the output is going to be, well, I'll just leave it like that. I don't really need anything else. And the limit is going to be 1, because it only needs to happen 1 at a time. Is that how I had it here? Let me just make sure. Yeah, dump ascending grid view. Yeah, it's the same thing. Oh, you want to make sure you choose which view you're dealing with, and in our case, it's the grid view. And then I'm going to update the record. So we're going to go here. We're going to update a record. And in this case, I'm going to update the table to core. Or excuse me. I'm going to update this record ID. It's the dump URL. It's going to be that one. And then it's going to be the dump URL right here. And then I'm going to put in the, the web, it's the content link. That's the one that you want to do. The reason why I'm doing this is because once the folder structure is made, it's going to return back the URL from where I need to dump everything. So I don't even have to go into Google Sheets to dump. I can just go back into my Airtable, see that the folder structure is made, click on the dump URL. It'll take me directly to where I need to go, and then I just dump everything. I'm pretty sure it's web content link, but for whatever reason, I can't find it. So let's just put it web view link. Maybe that's what it is for right now. Pretty sure it's web content link though, but that's fine. Cool. And then the dump folder ID, the reason why I have this here is because we're going to need that in a separate automation when I want to organize the dump. So after I dump all the folders, the videos, the iPhone footage, the everything, the reason why that's there is because I'm going to start a new automation where it scans the Airtable records and then it uses that folder ID to organize everything. So anyway, oh, and you know what? The dump is complete. No. Okay, cool. So now let's just test this. Everything should be good. I'm going to go back to Airtable. And then let's just say YouTube test live. And then the location is house. And then let's just say we were late. We were super late. That's actually really late. So because a new row was created here, when I run the automation, it should run perfectly. Oh, I hate when this happens. Damn it. All right, I have to refresh the page. Hold on. Yeah. So this was the old automation. I'm just going to close this. Command save. Close this. So this one's the one that we just built. Sorry, guys. Let's just run this. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. We have another error. Let's see what it is. So we're going to go here. ID. So I want to put the folder ID. What do you mean? Missing for ID. Oh, now I know why. That's the wrong one. So my mistake, guys. We're looking for the record ID. So the record ID is going to be here. So sorry. That's the ID of the record that we want to fill in. And then we're going to put it in. Yeah. So these are the columns. The ID knows which row. And that's how we know what to put in where. Apologies. Folder ID. Yeah. Okay. Let's just save this real quick. And then let's go back here. It looks like it ran successfully. So yeah, so sorry. That just goes to show that you have to be really meticulous when you're making these automations, because everything that you tell Make to do, and it's going to do it. So I remember, anyway, I'm not going to get into it. Anyway, so let's just do it one more time. We're going to go back here. Let's start a new one. YouTube Live. YouTube Live. And then let's do the 18th. And then now let's run the automation. Should be good now. Perfect, 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 perfect. So let's go back to our Airtable and let me just hit refresh. Oh yeah, there it is. So in the YouTube Live, you can see we go to the dump URL. It's right there. And then we have the dump folder ID, which we're going to be using later. It's going to be our job to dump the files in here. And then once I do that, I'll press yes. And then here I'll press no. So let's just go to so we're here in clients, core, shoots. That's where we started the automation. And YouTube Live is right here as it should be. The date that we chose is right there as it should be. And then we have all the folders. We go to footage. We have everything here. We go to dump. Obviously, there's going to be nothing there. That's pretty much all of our footage. So then let's just go back and just triple check everything and make sure that everything is working. So I'm going to click on this link and it should take me to the dump of YouTube Live folder. That's the parent folder. So that looks correct. We're going to go back. That looks correct. We're going to go back, and then there you go, YouTube Live. And we're going to go back one more time. You can see the date. Okay, this was supposed to be the location. Sorry for the confusion. But yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. If you wanna take this blueprint, I'll be more than happy to send it to you through TikTok or maybe YouTube DMs if that's a thing. Otherwise, do subscribe. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to organize these folders properly. So let's just say you dump like 100 files, and some of which are iPhone and some of which are the drone. I'm going to show you an automation that pretty much organizes them behind the scenes after you dump all your files. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good night.